Hey there guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Campea and this is a special video answering a direct question from one of our viewers. And the question that came in today is from Andrew Gifford, who writes, could Doctor Strange be key to Spidey joining Venom? Feige hinted Spidey would jump universes, and The Hollywood Reporter heard he wants to wind down his MCU role. Wanda and Loki tie into Strange 2. Maybe Spidey will too. A multiverse means Sony couldn't really hurt MCU canon, I should say. All right, thanks for sending that in, Andrew. And yeah, we're back on the whole Spider-Man discussion. Now, of course, we don't need to rehash all the drama that we've been through with Spider-Man from when he first joined on, when Sony and Marvel first made their deal for him to come into the MCU. Then it looked like their deal was ending. Then they rekindled it, but it's only for 2 more films. And it's starting to sound more and more like after these next 2 films, they're planning on having Spider-Man exit the MCU. This situation has brought up a lot of questions like, is it going to actually end him in the MCU? And if he does end in the MCU, what does that do to Marvel canon continuity? Like, he was there. How do you suddenly explain that he's just suddenly gone? But I mean, honestly, really, if you want to get down to it, you don't have to explain why he's gone. You just don't bring him up again. I mean, Lady Sif, anybody? But the question is, with the whole multiverse stuff that they've got going on in the MCU right now and alternate realities and stuff like that, could they theoretically use the upcoming Doctor Strange project to kind of facilitate a way to say that Spider-Man has been teleported into another dimension or another reality or another timeline or another multiverse, whatever, and that one just happens to be the one where we see Sony's Venom movies happening right now? Could they be doing that? And the answer is, well, maybe. You see, the way that I see it, here's the argument against them doing that. The argument against that is if you have Spider-Man depart the MCU by going through some sort of portal into the Sony Venomverse, if you will, then, you know, even if inadvertently, that creates a situation where you're tying Sony and Marvel together now indefinitely. And with the way we see things right now, with the relationship between Sony and Marvel, and I don't know why it's this way, but I don't think those 2 companies have any desire to remain permanently connected to each other at the hip. Because of that, you could make the argument that, no, they're not going to use Spider-Man and Doctor Strange to teleport him away magically into Venom, because if you do that, then you are acknowledging in the MCU that Venom is a real thing out there somewhere, and I don't think they want to be tethered that way to the Sonyverse. That being said, there's also an argument to be made that they could very well do that, because Marvel has been burned before by the fact that they had to give away their characters and their situations changed and things came back. And while maybe they can't see a way to use Spider-Man and working with Sony right now, Marvel and Disney may have learned that, you know what, just because it's like that right now, maybe it won't be like that later. Maybe theoretically, having Spider-Man depart the MCU through sort of mechanisms like you just described, through Doctor Strange, multiverse, hops over to the Venomverse and the Sonyverse, whatever, that at least leaves a little bit of a crack open in the door that if they so choose later down the line, if Sony and Marvel decide later on, hey, you know what, we should partner up again for a bit because that was good for both of us, then it leaves that possibility open. So I'm kind of on the fence about it right now. I see very strong arguments against them doing that because they just may want to sever the cord, but at the same time, it does give them a good out later down the line if they do. So the answer is, I don't know, but it's an interesting theory, and we're just going to have to wait and see. The question here is, guys, what do you make of Andrew's sort of theory? Do you think there's validity to it? Do you think Marvel and Sony could do that, or are they just going to break ties? What do you think? Jump into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. And listen, guys, while you're here, why don't you click on that subscribe button, become a subscriber to the John Campea YouTube channel, click the thumbs up button on the video, and don't forget, if you like good movie discussion, movie news, television news, whatever, we do a 2 to 2.5 hour daily show, Monday through Friday in the mornings, called the John Campea Show. Why don't you come on by and join us for one of those? Anyway, guys, that'll do it for us for now. My name is John Campea, and until next time, bye-bye.